So first of all, congratulations for your winning prize of the European Powerboat this year.
Thank you. I didn't win it. The boat won it. This boat, the Windy SR40.
And what does this prize means to you?
To me, it means a lot. We've won many prizes over the years for many of the large yachts we do, the custom yachts. But this one resonates particularly to me because it was a project where I kind of defined the requirements, because it's kind of designed around my own requirements for a boat, which I explained to the shipyard, and I said I don't feel that there is anything out there in the marketplace right now that does what this boat does. I managed to convince them that yes, indeed, there is nothing out there quite like this. And what I'm talking about is the combination of a very seaworthy boat that can cope with the Mediterranean seas when the Mistral is blowing, and short crested waves, high waves, in combination with high speed, and where often people are getting spray over them, they're getting wind in their hair, there's salt on their clothing, whatever, and most people hate that. So here the concept was to provide a very nice seating area, as you can see here, with the sliding doors on the side, so whenever the seas or the conditions require it, you can very easily close those doors. But when they're open, the opening is very wide, and you don't really notice the doors; they disappear when they are stowed in the open position. You can also open the roof, or you can close it. You can have these awnings when it's hot and you want protection from the sun. So it's a very versatile boat. As you see, the bulwarks can fold out. You can create a whole proper island here. I myself, I bought the first boat. I opted for the outboard engine, so I could have a crew cabin here. This comes up, and there is a crew cabin, and there's a cabin in the bow, as you know, with an ensuite bathroom. So it's a very versatile, and I like to think a well thought through boat. We had a great process with Windy, developing the concept into a boat. We're responsible for the naval architecture, the hull design, the performance, the certification, but all the engineering, the structural engineering, the systems are all done with Windy, and all the detailing. So we had a fantastic time, and we did the design unlimited for the interiors. So it's taken about 2 years, I think, from the first ID till the first boat was ready, and I did stand up to my word and say, okay, I'll take the first one, and I called it 001. I've been using it the whole last summer. I put on over 250 hours on it, so it's been used pretty intensely. Very happy with it. Between Saint-Tropez and Monaco, took it down to Capri for the summer, and never had a real issue with it. It had been very reliable. So I'm super happy with the boat, and for me, as I said, we received numerous awards for our big boats, but I feel particularly proud with this one because I kind of put my neck out a bit, in the sense that I said, this is what I think we should do. I don't think my requirements are that different from other people's requirements. And the yard said, let's do it. And so winning a prize in those circumstances is particularly rewarding, I think. I find it anyway. So it's a small boat for me, but it's a boat I can relate to. It's a boat I can buy, I can drive. But in terms of being recognized for something you've pushed a little bit through the system is particularly satisfying.
And if you have to pick only one detail, which one would you say what made the difference to win the prize?
I think that I am very obsessed with ergonomics and functionality, and I think the fact that the boat is a very functional boat. You have a full walk around with high bulwarks and enough volume in the bow to be a very seaworthy boat. And the sliding doors, I think that's the difference. The sliding doors, which when they're open cannot sort of be seen. It feels like a very open boat, but when they're closed, they really fulfill the function of protecting the people. There are not many walk-around boats in the market today, if any, that within a fraction of a second you can close the doors, everyone is dry. and as you slow down or come to anchor, you open them up. And I think that's the one thing that is perhaps made the difference. I don't know. It's a nicely performing boat between 30 and 40 knots. Is really sweet spots. I've thought a lot about details, how to get off, embark and disembark from different heights, docks or other boats. I often visit my clients on their bigger boats, so some of them are big and the certain platforms are high, so you can see here. Here it's very easy if the boat is high or the dock is high, or aft here. Right here, so this is, I've tried to think of all possibilities in terms of eventualities of dock heights, front bow space and so on. So I'm quite analytical in my approach to design. And then you try to wrap it into something that looks half decent, and that's often the challenge, but I always start with trying to define the functionalities of what the boat should do. And this boat was a point-in case. It's not a boat that fits into a range of boats like the Alizé or the Huracan, which we also designed, or the Chamal, which is part of the range of sports boats. So we're given the requirements, it's going to fit in between these two models, etc. This is a new concept for Windy, it's a new concept for us, but it's the result of a thoughtful process of identifying what you need when you're at sea. And in the Med, the seas can be often, as you know, quite rough and in many ways often rougher than in Scandinavia. In Scandinavia we have a coastline which is very protected. We have thousands of islands, and in most cases you're navigating in sheltered waters. It's more like a lake conditions. So in the Med you don't have any islands you can hide behind, and the waters are generally not sheltered, and when the wind blows you've got to cope with what you have to cope with, and then you need a proper boat, seaworthy boat. And seaworthiness is something which I think often is overlooked in today's boat designs. People think more about the boat as a floating island where you're at rest, like here, you're stationary, you're at anchor, but you've got to get back home, and the weathers can change, and then it's important that you have a seaworthy boat.
And what do you think, what tells this award to the future owners of this boat?
What the award means to future owners?
What tells?
I don't know if they will recognize it. I understand it's quite a prestigious prize. I would like to think that the judges have understood the concept and appreciated it, and I hope and believe that the clients who buy this boat, they will see those same features and understand the concept equally well, and that is what you should. The prize is a prize, and I've been told it's a very prestigious prize. I'm very happy to have it, as it probably means more to me than many of the prizes we got for the larger yachts, because I can relate more to it. And but I believe that what the clients will identify are the many merits of this boat rather than the price.
And I am sure you have your next project already in process, that if you could give us some sneak peek.
You can't talk about this. There's always NDAs left, right and center, and you just have to stay tuned and see what comes up next. We've got some very large yachts being delivered in 2026, which is the bulk of our work. We got into the smaller boats through the tenders we were doing for the larger boats. That's how we met with Windy, and we've done over 10 or 12 tenders, so custom one-off tenders with Windy, and that's how they asked us to look into the production of boats. So that space is going to be very busy with the large yachts this year. A number of high-profile yachts coming out from the yards in Holland and Italy.
That's nice. Thank you very much. It is always a pleasure meet with you and talk to you, and then see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.